Maria, Ave Maria, Ave Maria.
Mary proclaims the greatness of God in the Magnificat. She says, "The Almighty had done great things for me." The celebration of the Assumption of Mary is asking us to gaze upon the providence of God. It calls us to dream, to hope, to believe that God can do wonderful things in our life. This Assumption explicitly affirms that Mary shares the glory of Christ's resurrection. Epiphanes of Salamis in the late 4th century was searching for a reliable tradition regarding to the death of Mary. And he made 3 conclusions. Mary had a peaceful and normal death. Mary did not die, or Mary died as a martyr. He also suggested that the woman in the book of Revelation chapter 12 is possibly about Mary and all about her immortality. The Dormition or the Assumption of Mary makes its first appearance to the 2 apocryphal letters in the 4th century. Liber Mariae Requiem, Book of Mary's Repose, and 6 books Dormition Apocryphus. Both are from the heterodox circles. There are also many teachings and writings regarding to the Assumption of Mary. John of Damascus says that Mary had a peaceful and normal death amidst of the apostles, and later on, when her tomb was opened, by the request of St. Thomas, it was empty. It was found empty, and thus they concluded that Mary has taken to heaven. In the 8th century, the Assumption of Mary was celebrated in the West under Pope Sirius, and later on Pope Leo IV approved this celebration as an official. But these debates and theological arguments regarding to the Assumption of Mary was continuing, and finally in 1950 Pope Pius XII declared, confirmed this as the dogma of the Catholic Church. Pope Pius XII was known as the most Marian Pope at that time. He placed all his pontificate under the providence and protection of Mary. He has also written 4 apostolic letters regarding to Mary. While these debates and theological arguments were continuing, Pope Pius XII has taken a daring step to announce and to proclaim this Assumption as a dogma for the Catholic Church. In 1946, Pope Pius XII asked all the Catholic bishops to express their opinion on a possible dogmatization. He also used the advanced technologies for the better communication. He asked all the bishops to go to the people and ask them to search them how they are practicing and believing their faith, the sensus fidei, sense of the people. The answer was so encouraging. 96% favored for Pope, and some still doubt the truth of the Assumption. And finally, in the Apostolic Constitution of Munificentissimus Deus, the doctrine was dogmatically defined by Pope Pius X on November 1st, 1950. The dogma of the Assumption of Mary is not explicitly explained in the Bible like other dogmas. Pope defines it in the Munificentissimus Deus that there are many images and analogies in the Bible to define this dogma of Assumption of Mary. He is giving the examples. Genesis chapter 3 verse 15 called Proto Evangelion, the first good news or the first gospel, says, "I will put enmity between you and the woman, and your offsprings and hers, and I will crush your head." Jesus arose to heaven to fulfill this prophecy, and we believe that Our Lady also had a similar end. Again in Psalm 132, "Arise, O Lord, to thy resting place, and the ark which thou hast sanctified." Since the Catholic Church believes that the new ark of covenant is Our Lady, she has taken to heaven. And finally, in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, we see a woman clothed with the sun is also a support to define the dogmatic doctrine of the Assumption of Mary. Dear friends, it is not just like Moses or Elijah or other saints who have entered into heaven. Mary has even penetrated the throne of his only Son as a blessing of the world, and she is there as a mediator for each and every one of us. So let's strive to practice all the virtues that she taught to us. Once again, wishing you all the blessings of the day. I remain. Thank you.